Hey there, welcome back, guys. We're live. We're gonna be doing FPV Indoors. Special thanks to Market Bay. Came up with the idea, and I was like, "Well, that's really cool. The weather was bad, so many TFRs can't fly. Well, you can fly indoors as many times as you want, as long as it's not the shopping mall. Maybe you could, with permission. I've actually reached out to a mall, and they haven't gotten back to me yet because, as you know, sometimes when you go to the mall, there's a big sign when you go in: no video photography or anything. So I don't know, FPV I guess would go into the same category. So without any further ado, let's get started. We're going to be flying the sub 250, which is right here. We got a couple of batteries. I'm just going to go over some tips and tricks and things that will work out just right for you. I just need to go to Swedish Forge. What's up? Yeah, Swedish Forge was here when Market Bay came up with the idea. But before we begin, we're just going to go over the drone with you and show you some stuff. I still have the, what is it? Hopefully it doesn't wind up here for a year. The Osmos Action 6, no longer 5, but I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I still haven't opened it yet. I'm still debating on whether to do a live unboxing or making a video for it. I don't know, one or the other. I think live unboxing, because it doesn't really matter if I make a video. It's only going to get like 10 views or something, right? So whereas with the live stream, you get more views anyway. If we do it in what is it called? Portrait mode, right? So I'm just gonna clean up over here so that you guys can see. Move some things out of the way. Swedish Forge. Hello, Lou. The camera. Can you send me? Haha. I wish I could. It would cost more to freaking send the camera than, like literally, if one little plaque cost like, I don't know, $30 or $40. It's just a piece of wood. I can imagine how much that would cost. Oh yeah, but we have a way to ship things to you. I remember that now through Amazon. Anyway, so here it is right here. This is the sub 250. We got a couple of batteries. We have these right here, which we've had in the box. I don't recommend storing them. I mean, when they came shipped, so I just didn't open them until today. So you know, the odds of them exploding are slim to none, opposed to like after charging them and then charging them. But I do not recommend leaving these laying around. So we have one battery here. We got 3 batteries out there. So we're going to be testing it out with 5 batteries. Right, so we have, these are the, what are they? These are the 550 milliamps, the 75Cs, 7.6 volts, and what's the brand? I guess it's like a no frills type brand. Oh, Lava. Oh yeah, it's right on there. Here, I'll share with you guys so that you guys can see. Let me just get my phone out of the way. We're going to be using the phone to help us with the experience. Let's see. I'm just going to move the camera here. Oops, Samsung me stuff. Alright, so here it is right here. This is one battery. See, it's the Lava. And really hard to see the logo. And this is it right here. We got 2. Move this out of the way. And I can move that out of the way. Here's Donkey Kong, which we'll do later on in the week. We're going to paint him, prime him. So this is it right here. There's another video where we actually did the build. It has the Access Flying Kit with ViFly, which is awesome. We had to squeeze it in there, but it works really well because it's protecting the O4 chip. And this is some other accessories that it has too. It also protects the ViFly accessory. Again, also protects the camera, so the camera is sitting in its own little housing too. And then we adjusted that from there, and then we have here the antenna, and then we have the propellers, right? One thing you want to do, especially when working with these FPV drones, is take a picture. This is if you're new, right? Take a picture of the way the propellers are. And you want to do that because when you crash, you will damage these, like I have. These are actually the second replacement propellers. But this drone is really resilient, which is just phenomenal. And so we're going to put these like that. right? And then I'm gonna grab my phone and then take a picture of it. How are you doing, Swedish Forge? How's Spidey coming along? And then now, take a picture of it, right? So now I know when I crash which way the propellers go. Of course, I have a little chart. Those of you who have been following me know that I have a chart with the way the propellers go. But you'll also notice a little hidden feature here is that the propellers, see that? Those holes are on the outside, these little vents, right? But you could always draw a little vent, see? A little diagram. So this one is top left is going that way, and the bottom left, top left, bottom left go the same way. See that? And then top right, and then bottom left go the same way. And see how it's going that way? So you see how the groove is going that way. We're probably going to do another one next week where we can print these propellers. So these, I want to see how these actually work. I wonder if these will fit on here too. They should. These will be a little bit tricky, but as you can see, it looks like this part is going that way. So that would mean that this would be the top left. Well, we won't know until we put them on, but if you put them this way, see? So you want them to be that way. So we know, see the bottom? Similar thing. That's the only thing that's confusing with these. Markabay would probably know which one's the right one, but we're going based on this. See? That little part right there. Because it's turning that way. I hope. And then this wouldn't go there unless it was going that way. We'll see. We'll print these and see how it works out. Knowing that, moving forward, what you want to do next, after you've taken a picture of which way the props go, right? Because you will crash and you will damage them. And I'm no expert. This is for the new guy. You want to back it up, right? Because let's say if you're outside and you crash, you want to be able to restore your drone to its original settings. One thing I can share is that compared to the let me just go over here and say hello to Swedish Forge. Pablo Pico. I've had experiences with the Pablo Pico. Hold on. Hey, good to see you. Where I've crashed it and the freaking thing reset. Like I had to pit tune it. Like the rates. Just, sometimes things got glitchy. I have one video that shows you how to, where we actually did a Frankenstein and changed the flight controller. But the sub 250, I've crashed so many times and it still holds out. Like it took like 20 or 30 crashes for the propellers to actually be replaced. And the only reason why they had to be replaced because when I crashed, whoops, there goes the tie to Donkey Kong. It's okay, we'll fix it. We'll fix it another time. See, we just broke Donkey Kong's tie. That's alright. I have, we got glue and we got Swedish Forge's file. The hardest part's going to be gluing that back together. But that's okay, we got to get under the gorilla anyway to wonder if this will come off. Under the glue, no, it's not. It's glued on, so the super glue worked. To fix them anyway, to paint them, prime them, behind the tie. So that's that, right? So now we're just gonna back it up before we take it for a flight because you just have to back it up again, so that when you crash it or destroy it and you buy a new one. Because usually you have clones, extra ones laying around. Like, so when I crash, I have plan B. I can just, rinse and repeat and open up my other guy. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna take a USB, micro USB, and then I have a USB-C on the other end, depending on your computer. The cable looks like this, like that, USB-C, and then micro. Right, so the micro goes in here. Would have been nice. I've had this. You guys have been following me. I've had it for almost over a year. I just didn't. I don't know. I'm just not in a hurry. right, to make these videos. Now, I do make the videos, they have them popping out, but just, you know, this wasn't really a priority. But then I just wanted to see if it actually worked, right? Because it's been in a box for so long. Like, what if it's a dud? What if it's not good? All right, so now that that's in there, you should see some lights underneath. See, we have a light right there, which means that it is connected. Usually they flash, but apparently not. And then now, everything's going well. I painted Spider-Man, but the paint ran out, so I have to buy more. I'll send you a picture. Oh my god, the paint ran out. That's a lot. Forget about paint. How much glue did that thing take? So there we have right here. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna change the screen. Full version of Samsung Mini. So now that we plugged it in, right? You saw it was plugged in. We're gonna go to Betaflight. There it is right here. I have a video that shows you how to install this. And then we should be able to click connect. See, and now we're here. So when I tilt the drone up, it's up. When I tilt the drone right, it's right. When I tilt the drone left, it's left. And when I tilt the drone for a dive, it should match. And if it doesn't, you can just press right here, reset Z-axis, and then you can press here, calibrate. And now, as long as it's straight, let's try it again. As long as it's straight, you see, it'll self-correct, which is good, and you want that. You want that self-correct so that you know where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. And these are the ports right here. By default, leave this. This is just stays the way it is. The only thing I did change here are the presets, not presets, sorry, the PID tuning. And as you can see, I have two profiles. This is profile 2. So the rates are right here. So you can take a screenshot, right, of the rates that I'm using, because these rates work really well for indoors, to be honest with you. And as you can see, the throttle limit is off. Throttle limit here is 100%, and then throttle limit here is 0.50, and then that stays like that. But there was one particular setting, and then for modes, right here, see, we have angle, horizon. Horizon doesn't work for some reason. Why, I don't know. And it's still the same aux. And then we have beeper, and then flip over after crash. Flip over after crash occasionally works, but also works as a backspace and creates an exit for the menu so that you can just go back into the fly experience. So I call this backspace, but a lot of guys, you know, the FPV connoisseurs are like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not backspace. It's backspace. Anyway, knowing that, moving forward, you have some other adjustments here, and that's just for this drone. The modes here for Horizon just don't work. On the sub 250, not sub 250, this is the sub 250. On the Mobula 8, they've got Horizon option in there. And then one thing you want to do to make these options available, like Horizon or Angle, right? So it's not. So you go here, you go into configuration, right here. You make sure your OSD is on, and there should be another option for where is it? Air mode. So let's see, where is air mode? This one's a little bit different. I remember it. They changed some things in here. Hold on. Failsafe presets. No. PID tuning is here, but oh, there's one more thing you want to send. See, I changed the motor output to 75% because it was just too much for me indoors. They say rates for FPV are subjective because it's personal. You know, you have to figure out what rates work for you. And a lot of guys who fly FPV are perplexed and don't understand why someone like me would want to slow the drone down, because a lot of times, you know, these FPV guys are flying in bullet time. And I can't fly in bullet time. So I finally found, I guess Swedish Forge remembers him, Midnight Off-Road Runner, one of the viewers / subscribers on our channel, actually gave us the rates, and you know, someone actually understood why we want to slow it down. But we're able to slow it down so that we can just have a new I don't know, pilot experience for someone who doesn't want to fly like their Quicksilver, right? Which is just awesome. And then but let me so that's over here. See, PID tuning, we changed that to 75, but the other one was left at 100 when you go back into the configuration. But there was another setting, right? I need to find, you could rename it whatever you want. Like here we have Dolly 6. You have, it has a accelerometer, barometer, and then you have your arming here. Don't touch anything here, but I do want to find a dance. Is that dancing? I don't know what emoji that one is. Air mode. See, if we have air mode off, but you can permanently enable it. Honestly, I don't like air mode, but it's preference. You can try it, and if you don't like it, just shut it off. And I'm a big fan, especially for indoors. You want to be flying in angle mode anyway. All right. So then, if we go here to where is it? PID tuning, right? Remember these we put at 100. I'm sorry, 100. It's 75, but the default ones were left at 100. I believe that was over here on PID tuning. This one's at 75. But anyway, copy these numbers here. If we go to rate profile settings, see, I'm going to take a screenshot of that so that I have it. So we have the roll 150, the pitch 180, and the yaw 50. And then we have 550, 500, 400. See, just copy, just put these numbers straight in a row. And then we have here 0.65, 0.62, and 0.60. And these rates work. I have them on the Avata. I have them on all my drones, and it's phenomenal. And over here, throttle limit, this was where the throttle limit's 100, but the other one is the one that makes the magic happen. And those, again, FPV Unknown had also kudos to him too, who's no longer with us on the channel. And then now that you make sure everything is the way you like it, right? And then I'm going to go to the modes. Just remember, it's not going to work if these are not correct. So as you see, it says 1500 to 2000. When you turn on your flight controller, you'll know if you're in the correct limit when you see the little dot moving, depending on what keys you press. Everything here is on the DJI ecosystem. Okay, and then you have here, see, it should just work. And then that's it there. Now we'll go to CLI. You want to make sure you just back it up, right? Like I was saying in the beginning. So you go into here, CLI, right? Make sure, for those of you in Instagram mode, CLI is right here. See, and these are the menus right there, in case you missed it. All right, and then now, you're just going to type dump, D-U-M-P, right? And now it's going to like create some code, generate, see? And then I'm going to click save to file. I'll save it on, oh yeah, there it is right there. Call it second rate, right? No, profile, with profile 2. With profile 2, because you can have, I don't remember how many profiles, but you can have, I think, 3 or 4. Let's double check. So that's saved there. So now I can back it up or create another clone of this, a duplicate drone by just restoring the defaults. I can load it, right? So it's like, oh, I need my rates back. That guy Lou has some crappy rates. I want my old rates back. And as you can see, you can just select it, whatever it is you have backed up. But there's no need to select it, because remember, if you go back into your PID tuning, whoops, that's because I was in CLI mode. So when you're in CLI, you get booted out, and then you got to go back in again. If I go into my PID tuning, see, I have rate profile, and then the only thing I didn't do was name it. Can you name it? I guess it just goes 1, 2, and 3. But as you can see, you could have up to 4 profiles. So this is rate profile 1. Right? But you want to make sure you're not in this particular one. Like, you see it says PID rate settings. I don't mess with that. It's this one, rate profile settings. These are the ones. So if this is rate profile 2, right? So if I go here, if I wanted defaults, and then if I go here, and then select rate profile 1, see? These are the defaults. You can fly with them. On my first video when I was rebuilding this, it worked fine. But there's something about the custom rates. And now if I go to rate profile 2, see, it changes it. See, rate profile 2. And if we go back to 1. So the roll is 40, 40, 40, 670, 670 on the max rate, and the expo is 0. Now, they are pretty good. So try it. But, if, also try these too, because these will give you more control. And one thing, so obviously rate profile 2, rate profile 2, and and then you press save. And as you can see, remember the other one, which is the not this right here, right? See, if you could PID profile settings, this is the one where 75% motor output, which is great for indoors. And that's it. And then I can disconnect. You save it if you need to, if you made changes, but make sure when you do make the magic happen. I'm gonna save it because I want to make sure that my rate profile 2 is there. Rate profile 2, see, and rate profile 2, and that's when I'm flying these rates, which were given to us. You don't touch these though. And max vertical I don't touch. So it's just 1, 2, 3. You touch the center sensitivity, max rate, and expo, and that's it. And then try it, apply, and let dry. And then I'm going to save it. And then now we can go back to the drone. Let's see, Samsung only stuff right there. And then let's just make sure the camera is right about there. Hello. And then just want that to be like that. Great. And now we can pull this out, right? And you also want to have a soldering iron handy. This is one that we have here that was sent to us, which is great. But I don't recommend working on the flight controllers and the motors unless you have some experience on a soldering practice board. This is it right here, so you can work on your micro soldering experience. And as you can see here, don't worry, we're going to fly inside, but I just want to make sure I cover everything, because depending on where you are and where you crash, you're going to most likely be needing to do repairs. So you need to know. And the beauty of the FPV like whoops and little drones like this is that you fix them yourself. You break it, you're the repair service. There is no care refresh, so you need to know how to make sure it's backed up in case you need a new flight controller. Now I got a new flight controller and I can just flash it, right? Maybe you crash into like some construction site, and now your motors, you need to, a wire came off. If the motor wires came off, that's like a blessing. Now when the motors break, that's the tricky part, because good luck finding those same motors, or maybe you just need one, right? They don't sell them by one. Usually they come in sets of 4. If you can, send the link in the description, because that would be nice if you can just buy one motor, and it can get expensive. And that's why I fly these, because they have the duck guards. See these guards right here? Until you're ready to level up, then take the duck guards off, or get a drone with the propellers facing the other way. So we're just going to show you, see this right here, this flight controller here, and then we're going to turn this on. This is a great soldering iron because it heats up within 6 or 7 seconds as soon as you turn it on, right? And go here, press OK. Within a few seconds, see, it's going to go to 500 and something degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Within 10 seconds, which is just phenomenal, because I have the pencil and I swore by it, the pencil soldering iron. It had its days, but not anymore. It takes a couple of minutes. Or a couple of seconds. You decide. Let's see, we have someone in our chat. 1 second. I didn't hear no bells. Let's see. Hello, can you give me a drone? It's a dream, please. What drone do you want? It can be a $10 one, Please don't ignore me. Just tell me no or yes. Actually, we have a drone. Where are you located? Are you in the US? So now I should be able to tap it, right? You don't want to spend time camping on your flight controller. If you do, that's bad for business. But as you can see, I'm touching it and nothing is happening. So that's because more solder helps melt solder, right? So you want to, or sometimes even flux. Make sure your tip is tinned. We have a tinned tip. And then 570 is ideal for this one. But again, remember, the bigger the gloop, the more solder you'll need. So see, now it's solder's melting. So see, now there we go. Now I can melt it and create a nice experience, but now I have a bigger gloop on there, which is fine. But as you can see, we got that right there. And then I wish the connections were that, big, but they're not. A lot of the connections are micro connections, which are so small that you just have to tap it. And remember, even if it's a small spot, you still have to, put one connection into the next. And after this, I will show you guys. All right, so see, we got one little glob. I'm going to show you the glob. One little thingy. And again, you tip to tin like this. I'll show you what we just created right now. See, like that. And then we take this thing right here, and then we clean it off. And now the tip is tinned and ready to go for our next soldering job. Now to see what we just did right here before we take the drone up into the sky. See, and that's the only downside to this is like there's no stand. I think they have one, they sell it. I just haven't gotten it because it comes, everything's a la carte now. It just means sold separately. See, I shut it off. It does fall asleep, but remember, seconds. So now we're just gonna have a look and see the little connections that we made, and then we'll take the drone for a spin and inside. We got 5 batteries. Hopefully in this part, in this series, maybe today or maybe next time we'll make it upstairs. Oh, the EU. No, sorry, we can't ship to the EU because we do have a drone that we could give away if you were here in the US, and it's basically more, it's different. It's not what everything is cracked up to be. Shipping is just too expensive. But if we ship things here, sometimes we do collaboration. Well, all the times we do YouTube collaborations. A lot of stuff sent to us, and we ship stuff to our viewers / subs. For example, Bob got the multimeter, and all Bob had to do was pay for the shipping. So we could ship, and we could give you a drone over here on the side, but you'd have to pay for the shipping. Again, I ship it to the EU, but you have to pay for the shipping. All right, so, but it's just too expensive. It doesn't pay. You can just buy one, that same drone on Amazon. It's a little starter drone, but it doesn't work with the DJI ecosystem. All right, so now I'm going to go to the camera right over here, and hold on one moment. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. I know it's here somewhere. Not phone mirroring. Ah, there it is. Quick Cam. Quick Cam is the application that will give us options to see the microscope. And there it is right there. See? Okay. Whoops. Don't break your stuff. Hopefully nothing broke. My keyboard fell. That's so weird how it just fell. Let's put this up and hopefully, nope, nothing else broke. It's okay if it broke. We can always fix it. That is weird though. All right. Knowing that, moving forward, anything break? I just need to check something. Make sure. Nope, nothing broke. Sweet. All right. Just needs to be glued again. Let's see. Dude, seriously? Finally scored new N3 goggles on eBay. Oh, that's so cool. Hopefully, the good thing about goggles is that usually there's no binding issue when it comes to using them with your new drone experience. It's the drones that are usually people have trouble bound to their account, like to the previous owner. So that's great. Goggles N3 are supposed to be. I've seen them in the store, at the DJI store. All right, so let's see what we have here. So now, but that's okay. But you want them all to be like that. And as you can see, these little connections are so small that you could accidentally bridge them. And that's why it takes practice, and you need to know how to fix your stuff so when you do crash, you can put Humpty Dumpty back together. And this is the one I just did, which is a little bit big, but you kind of get the idea. This is to give you an idea. Ideally, the big blob like that is you would usually do for like a battery connection wire. Never your wires do like the wires for wire connections look like this. See how small they are? And in the end, when you do put the wires on, they look like this. We learned this technique from FPV Unknown, where your wire connection, like the edge of the wire, has to be so small, not big. You don't want to string it like spaghetti and keep it overexposed, but you just want it to be like that. And as you can see here, there's something there, right? It looks like it's bridging, see? And that will cause your shit to blow up. So make sure there's nothing there to complete the circuit, and you are fine, see? And then again, bridging will cause it to blow up, and you also need so that this doesn't happen. So if you have a soldering connection touching, your flight controller is going to do this. Here, I'll show you. Let's see, I have to find it. I usually have it on my desktop, but that's okay. It should be in my movies, and then in the hit prism, I believe. And then let's see. These are all. That's a flight. That's a flight. That's that's a flight. 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 No. Oh wait, is this it? Nope. 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 Right. Nope. 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 Oh, that's Dad Bedtime. It was a commercial I did with Johnson & Johnson. That's so weird. Swedish Forge probably knows what I'm talking about. Let's try here. We'll go to File. Fine. I thought I always kept it on my desktop. Flight. There we go. Here it is. Wonder where it is. If I click it, Drive 2027. Interesting. It's on the other drive, which is fine, which means it's on an external. I have to keep this handy. So this is what will happen if you bridge the connection, and this is why you need a smoke stopper. We learned this one from FPV Unknown too. So let's see, hold on one second. So that's what will happen, is your flight controller will blow up. Rewind again. So you don't want to blow it up. And as you can see, the soldering connections are so sensitive that you want to make sure. And then to prevent that, right, you're going to need something like this. We're going to need, one moment please, a smoke stopper. It's like a little fuse box for your flight controller. Flight controller is the brains and the chip that goes inside of your drone to make the magic happen. But this is a lifesaver. So if your motors break, you connect it wrong, don't turn it on or put a battery in until you connect this thing. and then this will short out first. It's reusable because it's like a little fuse box, opposed to seeing what just happen, right? So now we know how to fix our drone if we crash it and break it, sort of, because you will have to develop the skill set. And I recommend getting these solder practice boards, but even this is not enough, right? That's why we have a soldering series where we build these little gadgets like little games, because let's see if this battery still works. We build stuff like this so that you can hone up and level up your skill. Let's see what we can show this here. Samsung Me stuff. We'll just put this away, because you want to work on not just the practice boards. Practice boards are cool. You're like, oh, I got it. But if you're working on this little thing right here, it costs about, I don't know, $10, $15, right? Whereas your flight controller, the chip that goes in there, can be anywhere between $90 to $100. So $20, $100, right? So you get a little game, or we look into our soldering for beginners series, and then you'll see this one's Tetris. It's a retro game, and see, you can again, and then that's like a retro version of Tetris. One of my favorite ones, the only downside is you have to turn it off and turn it on again there are 4 or 5 games in here. I like that's the Worm, I think. This pole position, the space game, that one. This one is really cool. And again, like I was saying, you practice on a live project before you work on your drone, like a game or something, a $15 game versus a $100 flight controller. And when you build this, you're like, okay, now I think I'm ready to work on my drone. But you don't just work on your drone, because you don't know when you might never crash. Some guys fly their drone and just do well. Like, they're just like, oh, I got this, like. And other guys like me took like freaking 6 months to level up. So everyone is different, but at the end of the day, you do you, and you still need to develop those skills, not for flying, because some people wake up and can just fly, but for the soldering skill, so that you can fix your stuff. Let's see the high score I can get. So back in the day, this is how they made games. You had to use your imagination and be like, oh, look, I'm flying. It's like a space game, but the background would move, and then these are the graphics. These are the special effects. Let's see if I could break 999. Anyway, you get the idea. We make these videos so you don't have to. All right, so now we got that. So you got that out of the way. So now you got your drone, right? You're ready to, I don't know, I forget where I took this from. Oh, I guess somewhere in there. I'm running out of space on here. It's getting a little tight. Excuse me. You got your drone, you got your pit rates and stuff like that. Before you fly, for anyone, you need to put the time in the simulator, right? You're like, come on, man, we need to fly. Well, don't worry, we're going to fly. We're going to fly indoors. We're going to take this baby for you. We're going to use all the batteries, which are 5. But before you also need one of these things so that you can see how many. Sometimes your cells die. This is battery management part. So if we put this in here, this one should turn on, and you want to know how many cells you have, because see, I have 2 cells, 3.7 volts right there. It's hard to see, but which means that these could be charged, right? I should charge these in a little bit, and numbered. So ideally you want 4 to 5 batteries, so that number 1, while 1 is charging, you go to number 2. While 2 is charging, you go to number 3. You never want to overcharge or just run them out. So if you run them down to 0, the cells will die, and then it could be an expensive hobby. Screw like these, because these batteries don't come cheap. I think these 2 was like $30, right? So if I keep running it down to 0, meaning flying it until the drone falls from the sky, eventually either the drone will break, fall onto concrete, for me, it'll just land in the grass. Or your batteries, when you go to put them in the charger, it's not going to work. It'll say cell dead or something. There's a way to revive it, but I don't recommend it. I have a video that shows you how to do that, how to revive a LiPo battery that has dead cells. And again, store these things in a LiPo bag. You want to, so don't leave them here like, oh, great, I'll fly again tomorrow. Don't leave them lying around, because you can have them, you could wind up in a dumpster fire, like your house can burn down. So I have this. I also have a ammo case, if you have a metal case, but this is a LiPo bag that you can store the batteries in. And then you have like a little version I usually keep handy, similar to the one we just saw that you use to test the batteries. So this one will work too. This one I'll actually use it on my RC cars too, so that it starts to beep when the power runs out. And this one, maybe it's dead. Hold on. See, 2 cells, all cells equal 7.6 volt. This one's nice because this one's cheaper and you won't break the bank with it. So if I go to Samsung Me stuff, see, 2 cells, 3, all cells equal. See, that's what all the cells, and this is great, and it tells you what cell 1 is. I kind of like this one better because you can read it. The other one's fancy schmancy, but you know, you can't, they put a lot of time into like the housing, but I wish it was brighter. Alright, so now you have your battery management. Remember, don't leave them lying around. We can for the sake of this video, but at the end of the video, we don't want them, you know, just overnight on the table. Again, next week we will do this. Oh, Market Bay! Yo, hey Market Bay, what's up? This video is special thanks to Market Bay. Market Bay was the one who suggested flying my drone outside, the FPV, and Ken's not around because he's usually my spotter. But then when we came up with the idea of like starting the FPV series inside, because we don't have to worry about TFRs, anything except for, you know, the battery management, crashing into stuff, and maybe breaking shit in the house. Just have some plaster ready. What was it? Dry decks, which we got the idea from. What's the dry decks? Swedish Forge. Got a ton of dry decks on there. I can solder okay, but my butane tools wear out after a while. Oh wait, so let me see. Dude, seriously? Got an ad during the yeah, the ads. We can't, I have to watch ads. Even when I want to show you guys something, I have to watch an ad. Cool. Looks good. And then we have Swedish Forge. Lewis! Market Bay's here. I can solder okay, but my butane. So you don't need any butane. I have one of those. I hate it. Where is it? We have, and that was our first soldering iron on this channel, was the butane soldering iron, like freaking thing. It melts everything. Like you wanna mess your shit up, use one of these things. Wow, it's been so long that look at all the dust that's on it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good starter one, but honestly, this is phenomenal. Like literally, you saw how you just touch it, you're not going to burn anything surrounding it. This is more like a blowtorch, but oh, is there? Yeah, there's a little bit of butane. There's no more butane left in here. But you don't know how many things, when I was on the search for the holy grail of soldering irons, how many soldering irons I went through to just finally find the pencil, which was great. We used it on everything, and then finally we had this one sent to us, which is just the holy grail of soldering irons. You know, so if you manage to tweak your butane soldering iron to work, kudos to you, because I couldn't. This was used for like, I don't know, breaking stuff. I think one of the first things we tried fixing, which we got it, you know, to temperature really low. We did a couple of builds with this, but we damaged a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. But they swear by it on Amazon, but I just can't. All right, so again, now that we covered all that, I'm just going to read some of the comments, and then we're going to go into the simulator, because you do need practice in the simulator. You too, bro. Lou, I'm pretty good, Mark Bay. Thanks to you, we have this video today, which is just phenomenal. I'm glad you came up with the idea, so that we can just bring the FPV experience to folks here. You don't have a spotter, right? We don't have a spotter. Usually we do. And all of the FPV videos I've made for outside, Ken, Ken's been busy, and occasionally he's done some flights, and I've done some flights with him at his place, but he doesn't want to televise his home, which is fine. But when you're inside, you control the airspace. And again, you do need a spotter when you're outside, so that when the drone does crash, they go get it for you, or they point to it like it's right there, or like, hey, there are people, or if there's someone's coming, stuff like that. But usually when you fly these drones, you're in like a walking distance, because you're only going to get 2 to 3 minutes of flight time, right? So for 4 max, if you're lucky. On the Avata, you get more. Got an ad during talk, so let's just go with here. I can order solder. Yo, bro, Lewis, I'm good. And then I just got my first pair of, oh wow, Lava 2 to 3 500. Oh, nice. Kind of worried about maintenance. Haven't even opened the box yet. Yeah, you know what? We are with you there. We've had this drone in the box for almost a year, and then I think a couple of weeks ago we finally opened it. So now you know a little bit more about the maintenance, and then we put it together. But I was nervous because I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I wasn't sure if it was going to blend with the DJI ecosystem. Like, oh no, it's not going to work. It's like ELRS or whatever they call it. That when you need, they need those special antennas on there and bind with different flight controllers. So if you're confident, I was just looking over here, must have been from a crash, but thankfully it comes with extra ones of these, right? And then we have a screw. So you always want to make sure, check your stuff, because before and after flight, because as you can see, that is loose and needs to be tightened, right? And they tell you that when you get your Part 107 aircraft maintenance, because shit will break. And as you can see, this is broken. It's okay, because it still has the other 3 holding it, but you do want to check the bolts. In this particular case, the propellers are not screwed in. They just slide on and slide off. But the good thing is that this isn't how the flight controller was put on. We put it in the Access Flying kit. We have some other micro drones that we build. We have that build. You might want to check out the Build Your Own Drone series, which is what I have, that teach people how to build a drone, and you also learn about the maintenance too. But if you're watching this video, you're fine, because we're going over all the maintenance before we make the magic happen. And then you have little screws here. Just check those again. Like, I wasn't even expecting that to happen. I thought I would be good to go. And just turn. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. These little motors. The motors are screwed on. That's fine. And that's fine. Oh, well, no, that one's not fine. Okay, so what happens is vibrations cause the screws to move, and then next thing you know, the drone can be falling apart from the sky. All right, so we're good. And then just check the other ones. Anything that's holding the drone experience together, just check the screws, right? Check the screws. And this is like after many flights. Even in the beginning, sometimes, when you customize stuff, things don't work. And then we're good. Oh, wow, that one was definitely... Oh, so you see? You got to check your stuff. And like I did just now, check it before you go. And you can do it after, so that when you go to fly, next time you just fly. All right, so now we have that. Now we're just going to go to the simulator. And then an Archer, butane. Yeah. All right, so now we're just going to go to the simulator, which is in Steam. And then practice. You have all the modes in the simulator, which is just great, right? I'm going to go to the library and then liftoff. I like liftoff, but then you have liftoff for micro drones. So we'll do both, and then we'll just do a flight inside, okay? Here, and hopefully I can make it upstairs. It takes practice, and the only downside is that when you um, fly in the simulator, you might be like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! Look at me, I'm flying." But then in the real world, it's hard. Like it transposes, but not 100%. So we're gonna go to race. I have the DJI drone in here. Click standards. That's the only downside. I wish everything just transferred. It does transfer over because you're ready, but you're not going to be ready until you actually fly in the real world. And as you can see, these are my times here: 4 minutes 24 seconds. But you have to do 3 laps. And don't be intimidated by here, because in the beginning, it took me an hour to do 1 lap. And the only reason why I have the Avata in here, or potato, whatever it's called, is because you have M mode, manual mode. So it what do they call it? That's the true experience that transfers over M mode. And so if you got an Avata or a DJI drone, you definitely want to put the potato in there, because it'll streamline your experience when learning to fly in M mode. Now, if you're doing an FPV drone like the Micro, which we have right here, the Sub 250, you want to make sure that you have you're flying a micro drone, which we'll do both in a second, and then we'll fly it inside. So here we are here. So you can see I have M mode, right there on the bottom left-hand corner for those, and then our little things here, which are customizable. Now we just got to make sure that our remote controller is on. It was on, but it has to be connected to the computer. See, it's been that long since we've done an indoor flight. So now, for those of you who don't know, I'll show you. You want to make sure that the remote controller is on, and then you plug it in USB-C to USB-C, and then as you can see, it says detected. There was like a little thing on the top corner where it said detected. And now I should be able to fly. Nope, it's not working. And the reason why it's not working, plug it out. Sometimes you have to plug it out and plug it in again. Let's see. See, it says joystick disconnected. And see, now it detected it, but it's not working. So what you do there, oh yeah, there we go. And now if I go up, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to quit the game. You could do dives in here. Whoops. That's weird. Let me press refresh. There should have been another checkpoint. So that's a glitch with the game. Welcome back to everything that glitches, because as you can see, if I go back down again, I should have another. See, the checkpoint's right there. Sometimes the game will glitch out, but you want to and the reason why you want checkpoints is because checkpoints will help you level up. Otherwise, you're just wandering around aimlessly, flying in the sim with no purpose. And you want purpose. So that's why you put the checkpoints there, because as you can see, you're challenged, right, to fly. I just wish they had the Return of the Jedi version of this, because, you know, you could be like, Luke, use the Force. So I could be like flying in between the Death Star. But no one's come up with it yet. If there is one out there, let me know, because that would be really cool. But it has to work with the DJI controller. So you can do dives. You can practice your dives on here. But again, in the real world, no matter what your PID rates are, dives usually happen in real time, because there's one thing that you can't, terminal velocity and gravity. That's the one thing, and especially with the accelerometer built in, when you do these dives, this drone's just going to go faster. So, but you can practice, but you just got to know when to pull out of your dive. Otherwise, you're doing like a head-on kamikaze, and that could be the first and last day of your drone flying it, right? And then you're pretty much out of luck. And then you gotta you can buy those parts separately, though. You can buy the camera separately, which is really cool. So we go here. So like if you do a nose dive, it's replaceable, but they changed on my last video where I show you guys how to put the Access Flying Kit in. The first Access Flying Kit was the connector was just connected on. Now they've hot glued them, so they're glued on. So if we go back and look at my videos, the first 04 unit light, they just connected it. Okay, so we get the idea. So let's try the micro one, because the micro one is not gonna be. So that's the only downside. Confirm is that, you know, you gotta be really, really it's sensitive. And I guess it was smart that they hot glued it. We just found the way around it. So now we have liftoff for micro drones, and then we're gonna try it inside. But again, it's tricky. Oh, because I reinstalled it. Hopefully this works. Click OK. Hopefully it saved my setting, because we erased everything on our computer. And we definitely, if you're going to be flying a micro drone, it's a different experience. It's just, I love it. I wish I had found the micro drones sooner. So this is just verifying. So we got to wait for that to make the magic happen. And as you can see, it's running, but nothing is happening. Hopefully it loads. In the meantime, while that's doing that, I'm gonna go get some more oh, there we go. We're gonna get some more batteries. Alright, so the happy models. We have a happy, oh yeah, we used the happy model chip. And oh man, so here we go. So we have to reset everything. Alright, so let's see. Hopefully it'll work. Because I had my tunes in here. Let's see, virtual joystick. See, it's not. It doesn't see it. Let's see what we have here. Calibrate. Let's see if we calibrate. Start calibration. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's fine. So you have to do the calibration again. The only downside is, I believe. Oh, okay, I don't hear anything, which is good. Alright, so all sticks calibrated, so we'll do that there. Sweet. There we go. There we go. So we have to start the calibration. Yeah, we had to erase everything. I had to erase everything on my computer when we got hacked. So I basically erased my drive. Okay, there we go. It's finished. Yay, save. I hope. You'll know if the drone starts flying like crazy. Click save. It's saved. Alright, so now I can go back. View, click next. And then binding buttons. Nah, we don't need to bind. That's fine. I guess this one looks like mine. I don't know. Authentic, right? Because we're not flying with a like it looks like it might be a, what do they call it? Like a Xbox controller. And then we'll go here. I don't need to create an account because I have one. That's it. You're ready to go. And the only thing I might have to figure out next is the music. Hold on one second. Because we can't have the music playing because copyright. The video will just get blacklisted. Hold on one second. General audio. Master volume. Music. There we go. Why? I don't know. But we can leave everything else. Sound effects and all that other fun stuff. Yeah, so for copyright reasons, unfortunately. Why does it? I don't know. Like, literally, it finds this music is blacklisted. Not that, in the single player. I like this one. We'll just leave it base. This one is hard. Transit. So there are 14 levels, right? So we go here, different factories. One of my favorite ones. I love this one. This one's great. Free flight, and then select. You can select the soundtrack. Remember, we shut off the music. If you're not streaming, have fun with it. And then just fly with the default rates, but sometimes you can pit tune them. But again, like I was saying, nothing really transposes. Like it'll give you the skill and the experience, but every drone is different. Um, like to the point where you just have to. So as you can see here, we are in acro mode. If you look on the top uh, right corner, right, acro just means that it flies like you can do flips and stuff, right? So here's acro. See, it just means that you can. Whoops, we'll do a reboot again. It's like so this one definitely needs some tuning because I don't like flying in bullet time. Like I can do flips and stuff, but I like to make sure that I'm higher up. So before I actually do stuff like that, right? Decrease altitude. See, and you practice with it. These rates are a little bit too much of like Quicksilver-ish bullet time, but what's cool about this, so that's acro, right? And the reason why it's telling you to fly lower, because remember, these little drones weren't really meant to be flown higher. And where are we over here? A little alleyway. And you see, that's where things get challenging. So as you can see, we're in acro mode. Acro it's more complex, it's more challenging, right? So then if I press the A button, I have 3D, I have Alt, and Level. Level is the same as now reboot angle mode. So angle mode in your drone, which is what you use to fly inside. So if you want to practice flying indoors, you want your drone in the simulator to be in level, and then your drone in the real world to be in angle mode. So angle will just allow you more control. The drone moves slower, and as you can see, there I just can't do flips. And then when you're ready to level up, so when the drone's flying like a bat out of hell, it won't ever fly like a bat out of hell. Oops, there's just these little areas. See, I can fly in tighter spaces or go through that food truck, right? Which I don't recommend, but and the good thing about these micro drones is that even if I did fly into the food truck, I can go slower and then lower. The drone, see, easier to fly in tighter spaces when you are, whoops, in angle mode. But the FPV connoisseur can do that in acro or any mode. So level is good for the beginner, but as you can see, I have more control of the drone. And again, these drones really weren't meant to be flying high up, maybe over the roof. See, it exceeds expectations, so I have to fly lower. And then watch for wires, cable. And a lot of times when you're flying these FPV drones, you can fly in the park, but you want to get to the park early in the morning, right? You can fly through stuff before, like at sunrise, because it's empty like this, and it'll just be you and your drone and your, maybe your spotter, and you just practice like that, and then go through little nooks and crannies and things like that. And as you can see, and that's it. And now for the real world. Now we see, and you'll see that I'm able to fly in the simulator, but then when I go out there, I keep crashing. I have trouble making it upstairs. So just you have to like know your drone. You have to like become one with relationship with this one, right? And then become one with that one. And then once you know where those fine tunes are, you're golden. So now we can quit this. Let's see if I can escape, quit, and now we're just gonna see how we progress inside and see if we can make it upstairs. Even if we don't, we can definitely fly down here, but maybe next week we'll make it upstairs. I have made it upstairs. I'll show you right over here, but it just took practice, and that's the other thing. The last but least before we continue. Hold on, where is it? Oh, here's the flight. Not there. When you level up and you're flying inside comfortably, you where is it? Oh, it's in the other thing. Hold on one second. You in about 2 weeks, if I stop flying, I might not be able to. It's like starting over again. So you got to really fly, fly, fly. Literally. There's there, and there's there. Oh, indoor flight. So here it is right here. So you'll be able to, but once you stop, it's like you just have to keep flying at least once a week as a minimum. And so this one we got a 2-minute flight in. It's not letting. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let's do. See, I pressed play. Sometimes if you press play, it doesn't work. I mean, spacebar, it doesn't work. So we'll just do here, just to give you an idea. We'll just scrub it a little bit. All right, so we're inside, flying around the table. The table. We got to watch objects, and that's why you want the throttle limit set to 75, so that you, when you crash into something, it's not at 100%, right? So we're here upstairs, even here. Again, it took like 4 batteries, and then finally on the 4th one, it was like a silent movie with subtitles where I'm like, "Yay, I'm flying! I'm FPV man!" And this is like a Highlander moment. If you ever see Highlander 2, The Quickening, when they get their heads chopped off, if you look up in the ceiling, remember the fan is going. And then I go into the next one. This one's a little bit tricky, but once you get a feel for everything, you're right, and you'll be able to fly inside without a problem. And then the only thing you get is battery anxiety. See, I bounce into the wall, but there's another code. Oh, speaking of bounce into the wall. There is a crash code you can put into the drone so that when it accidentally hits an object, it doesn't go flying berserko. Usually the newer drones have it by default in there, but some of them don't. Like this one didn't. I had to put the crash code in there, but it worked out really well. So definitely put that crash code in. I will, let's see, I'll find it right now so that you guys can have that for those of you who still have their drone in the box, and like whatchamacallit, like Tomo Prime. Let me see if I can find the crash code, and you just put it in the CLI. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Go into my notes, and then type in crash. There we go. So, Samsung, excuse me, right here. Set crash recovery on. You copy that code, right? I'll just put it in the chat, and you put it in the here, I'll show you really quick. Open in web browser, and then go here. That's the crash code, so that when your drone, your homebrewed drone hits something, you whatchamacallit, I'm not sure why. Oh, because it's for new folks, and that's why you just have to reiterate, because remember, this is FPV, and when you're flying, I can't stress again and again and again, this little thing right here is $500, right? So if you crash it and break it, you're out $500. So that's why. Anyway, knowing that and moving forward, there's your crash recovery. You put it in, and then you're golden. So now, what we're going to, this is set to auto off and on. We're going to take some of the batteries from out there, because remember, we're going to be using 5 batteries on this flight. And now that we've covered all of the basics, right? Just remember, back it up. Make sure you check everything beforehand. Rotate the batteries. I'd say number the batteries like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you know you don't want to charge number 1 after you've used number 1. So number 1 will be charging while you're using number 2, and number 3 will be charging while using number 4. And by the time you reach number 1 again, everything is like a cycle. And then because when these are too hot, they can blow up, and you don't want to charge them when they're warm. All right. Hardest part's going to be the setup. And one last thing. If your batteries bulk up, it's time to replace them. These are okay, and you'll know when you squeeze it in to here and it doesn't fit anywhere. Like, why doesn't it fit? And it just means it's garbage. Okay. All right. So we're gonna use. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 batteries, 5 flights. Each flight, 2 to 3 minutes. Remember, make sure your stuff is numbered. Oops. So that's the other tricky part. So we have battery number 1. Okay. Me stuff. You could use a Sharpie. Sharpie works well. Well, just look for like a white spot right in there. So it's battery 1. Okay. There's battery 2. And then we have battery 3. Battery 4. And battery 5. Battery 5. So now, I believe since the lava, which one of the other guys has too, in our chats was sharing, were the 2 that we took out first. So these we can charge, okay, first, and then they'll be ready. So yeah, charging. I'm using an old charger. It's about. Hold on. The charger I'm using is like freaking 8 years old. There are new ones out there, so just look for one that works right for you. Look on the FPV community, but they don't make this charger anymore, and they last forever. It's the batteries that don't. So now we're going to turn everything on. You want to make sure that you have on your goggles. The drone gets turned on last, okay? And if you're flying indoors, there's no need to use the AirWare app and other stuff like that. Now I'm going to connect my phone. Someone just emailed me. It's like, can you please reply? Yeah, I can actually. I just didn't know. I was busy doing a live stream. By the time select all. There we go. All right. Sweet. Now they got the message. Again, turn this on first. Your remote controller. Hold on. I'll show you on the big screen. Turn this on first. Turn the goggles on, right? Take off your glasses if you have glasses, and then start binding everything. In this particular case, I need to push the phone here because remember, once you put the battery in, it eats up like that. So for this, I need to put. So once we have my phone on the computer, we're golden. Okay. So I heard a boom. Once you hear that boom, I have to go into make sure reflector is here. Reflector will let us see. reflector. There we go. So you guys can see Samsung Me. And there goes our chat. Oh, speaking of chats, I forgot. We're also streaming in the other mode. So that beep means the battery's ready. And then we took our cheat code. You need that crash flip code. Another code's going to come up. 6093. 6093. Select OK. I forgot about the trolls. The trolls in the other one, the other format. All right, so there we go. And now we have here. Hold on, I just want to do something. Actually, I wanted to do something really quick. Go to the channel because I forgot portrait mode. We have other. It doesn't give us a ding notification for the people who are in that format. And then now I gotta watch an ad too. For those of you complaining about the ads, I can't do anything until the ads done. Then I can skip. And let's see. No, I can do there. Oh, sweet. Yeah, there we go. See, I forgot about you. Have you ever thought about using the transformer from a microwave to get more power to your drone? Have you tried making an ebook reader? Yeah, I have actually. What's your favorite whoop? My favorite whoop is probably this one. Probably the sub 250 now. Or the micro, the Mobula 8 too, but sub 250 rocks. But I don't have much exposure, but the sub 250 is just phenomenal. All right, so knowing that, moving forward. See, I forgot about the people in the other room. Pop out chats. All right, so now we can close that. Last week we had a whole bunch of trolls in portrait mode. All right, so we'll put this here. So to see that beep 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 means the battery's done, right? And you want to make sure your batteries are good to go. So that's number 2, right? And then we have another one over here, which is number 5. It's a lava. So we're charging the 2 lavas first. Lava. Chicken. Alright, now start. So that one's doing that. And you keep your charged ones on one side and your dead ones on the other one. And that's why you want to fly the batteries in sequence to the order. So now I'm just going to check my battery. I'm going to move this over here so that we can see that, and then I'm going to when the time comes, remove myself from the screen in a second so that you guys can have the full view experience. Now I'm let that charge. Now I can turn on my goggles, which are on, but I want to have the wireless experience so that I can push everything onto the big screen. And the only way to do that is to put it in wireless, right? And then now, if I open up the DJI Fly app, see? It should push the goggles. You see it on the top right, the top left-hand corner right here, goggles. And you should be able to see what I see if it connects. If it doesn't, it's a whole binding cat and mouse game. I gotta bind, rebind. This part takes forever. Hopefully it works. And move my glasses, anything out of the way that could accidentally break in the room you are flying in. Looks like the battery charged really fast. So that's the only downside. This part can take forever. And it's supposed to be a live view, but it's at 99% on the battery. Could always try it again. because you're not going to be able to see the flight until this thing actually binds. Goggles. Come on, you got this, DJI. My ISDT F160 4-channel charger arrives today to use for my Lava 2 to 3S. Oh no, that's really cool. I'm gonna check that out. We'll check to see what charger that is. Because honestly, I've been using, like I said, this one for years, since my kids were like in kindergarten, and they're now in 8th grade. Let's see what we got here. We're just gonna go new tab. This one's taking forever. Don't worry, we'll get it though. Hold on, I'll make this bigger. I'll just paste it in. Check out what he's got. Oh wow, holy crap, that's beautiful. That's like I'm like in the like 1930s monster charger back. Wow, that's amazing. Holy crap. Wow, it kind of makes me want to get a new one. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure you can find it for cheaper somewhere else too. This is really nice. State of the art, man. Oh my god, look, you can charge 1, 2 many more batteries at a time. That is phenomenal. I wonder if it comes with all the connectors. You'll have to let us know. But like, or you have to buy them. Oh look, it works with the phone. There's like a link. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend the phone part, only because you never leave these batteries unattended. You gotta, like, if you're not in the room while they're charging, then you're messing up. You're doing it wrong. Because all it takes is a second for these things to blow up, and the lipo fires are dangerous. In seconds, literally, this whole room could be in flames. So yeah, make sure, if you're not, again, be in the room while your lipo batteries are charging. Okay? And all right, let's see how many are here. That's really cool. If I had that charger, we'd be done. Like, all the batteries would have been charged already. All right, so this is the tricky part. We have to just keep on. I just need for it to sync. Come on, you got this, little guy. I'm in Wi-Fi view, which is fine. But you can't see my flight if I'm not pushing it. I mean, I could fly and then record. Oh yay, there we go. Yay, almost. I got the join part. Usually on the join, and then it's gonna boot us out again. Maybe not. Nope. Sweet. So now we got a blank screen. See, that's what we see. So you want to make sure that when you have your drone, like, you go into the settings, status, switch. So I see I have 04. The other day I was flying the Avata, right? So then I would switch it to the Avata. Let me make sure this doesn't fall asleep. And it'll switch it. See, but it's not going to connect to the 04 unless I switch it to 04. And remember, there are 2 versions of the 04. I have 03, 04, and there's 04 Pro. All right, so make sure you choose the correct 04. And for me, it's 04 unit. I don't know why it doesn't say light. Now it'll bind, but now before I do that, I need to go into the phone. See, switch successfully. Voila. Now what I have to do is go here and then go into settings. This is for the phone though. If you're doing, like, if you want, hey, look what I can do, check me out. If you want to share with your friends, you go into, see that we got another battery. I can't see without my glasses. General, is it general? Settings, display and brightness, and put that auto lock, not 2 minutes, but never. And this way you can share the experience while someone's holding the phone, and you're like, look at me, or teaching someone how to fly. Well, definitely not with this. These are not one-on-one lesson drones, but with the Avata, another FPV. So we go down to 3 batteries, and Now we have 4. 4. Remember, you want them all to be charged, right? So that you can just keep swapping them out, right? Keep them on rotation. Oh, wow, nice. This one's charged at 100%. And again, as Swedish Forge would say, why are you saying it again? Don't leave the batteries laying around. Don't leave the batteries laying around. People's homes burn down, you know. And again, as Swedish Forge, why are you repeating yourself again? If you're not in the room while the batteries are charging, you're doing it wrong, okay? But that is just phenomenal. My charger is old, really old, like almost 10 years old. And I just want to, it works really well where it actually can detect what kind of battery's in there. Like it knows it's a LiPo, it knows it's a lithium, it knows it's, so it's, you don't have to finagle the settings. I just set it, forget it, and it does the magic. And if I put it in lithium ion, whatever, right? And then I charge it, and then I put a LiPo in, it flips back to whatever battery it is, thanks to that little, this little thing on here, that little connector thingy. So it just automatically knows. Hopefully your new charger does that too, because then you don't have to worry about configuring it, putting the right settings and stuff like that to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to for the correct battery amperage / milliamps. Is that correct? Yeah, so 450, it just knows, like it's, so again, hopefully your new one does that. All right, so knowing that, moving forward, don't put, don't put the, it's like weird, we lost our connection. No, which is what we don't want. That is a no. Because once you lose your connection, see, then you can't see the flight again. So what I was trying to say was, don't plug it in until you're ready to go. So you can put it in, right? Put it in here, like this. Trying to get our feedback. So you can put it in, but then don't plug it in until like you're bound and all that other fun stuff. But remember, we're going to use the batteries in order and sequence so that we know where number 1 is, number 2. So here's number 1. We have 1, and then we have 5, and then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 4. All right. So we're going to put number 1 in, and this way, you know, when we'll let it charge. Sweet. So that's in there, but we lost our stream again. Hold on 1 second. Samsung me. This part's an easy fix. This you just have to, you might have to quit the app and then do it again, or just do this. Quit that, and then quit this, and then launch the DJI Fly app again, and then hopefully it'll let us in, and we should see the goggles. See, the goggles appear. Now we know it's fucked up because it's upside down, and it shouldn't be, and it's not like the drone. All right, so that we gotta quit again. Excuse me. Now we just go DJI Fly. Wait for your goggles to appear, and hopefully they're not upside down. They are upside down. Damn it. Which is just so weird. The goggles don't overheat, but the flight controllers do. That's not going to connect. So what we do is plug out our phone. And plug that in. And then start reflector over again. Stop mirroring. Now we're just going to push it again. Because remember, we're pushing wirelessly from the goggles to the phone, and we're pushing hardwired from the goggles to the computer. You just can't, it doesn't work. You can't do it any other way. So when you're streaming. So you got to make sure that the connection is hardwired. Otherwise, you guys can't see the flight. And if that's the only problem, it has trouble seeing that. It has trouble, like, wait, is he hardwired? Is he not hardwired? It just doesn't really, it's a glitch. But when that happens, it's good for business, because then we can say, welcome back to everything that glitches, because you can't make this shit up. Alright, so now we gotta wait for it to appear. Hopefully I don't have to reboot my phone, because this part takes forever. Oh look, a little turtle sipping, that was so cool. Oh, I got a present. Thank you for the present. Who gave me the present? Modified MOB 6, MOB 7, and HD0 MB8. Oh wow, sent hydrated. That's so cool. Thank you for that. We're just trying to, damn it. So you have to be careful not to touch it. Oh yay, it's working, almost. Then we'll be able to. That's a lot. We'll look that up in a second when I, because this is the way people can see what that is too. I had the modified Mobula 8. See, it didn't work. You're killing me. Join. Connecting. Yay, we got it. Sweet. So now I gotta push it to the computer. Oops. One moment, please. Hold on. Hopefully we don't lose the connection. We're going to push it here. Look for the code 6093 and join. And sweet, we're in. We're in like Flynn, sort of. So, oh man. All right, hopefully this will work. You're killing me. Go back home. Oh, sweet. Okay, good. So now, take battery 1. We definitely don't want quick transfer. We want to make sure that we have, there we go. Sweet. And that bound. Goggles again. You're killing me. Fuck. You just can't make this shit up. You see, on the phone, it's on quick transfer. You stay hydrated. Alright. See, when I click it, it's like glitching out. Don't worry, we'll get it. This is the only trouble we've had on the live stream when it comes to sharing the live flight experience. But other than that, we are golden. Yay. See, we got, as long as we got that, we're good. I should be able, and don't plug it in until it's actually joined. Then we can just put the battery in. That's so cool that Lunar Vex Hexing's got all these little drones. That means that they're better pilots than us. They've got so many drones on standby. So cool. And more experience. We have more, the FPV connoisseurs here visiting us on the channel. It's so cool. Thank you for stopping by. Alright, so then that goes here. And then this over here. And we're going to check out those. Alright, so cool. As you can see, we're in angle mode. You want to be in angle when you're inside. Otherwise, I mean, if you're like, what's his name? Luna Vex, they could probably do acro inside without a problem too. But again, for the new guys, we're the beginners. So now, if we go here, so you want to practice hovering, right? Hovering will allow you to develop some skill, and when you hover, you can get it. Whoops. to go. Whoops. So that's the only thing. I think that's probably how that bottom part broke. From it, what do they call it? Hitting the ground on the crash landing. And I think that you could probably put some foam under there. I might get some foam or some cushion, but something like this. Whoops, like this, right? So that when it crashes, and you can do that. I forgot which drone I put it on. This is just, I don't know where this came from, but it was just laying around, and you can just, you know, glue it in so that when it lands, see, it's a nice happy landing, happy model drone. So now we're going to put this out there. Remember, don't do what I'm doing right now because I'm talking and showing you this. If it overheats, the flight controller will shut off. Okay. Remember, we got 5 batteries. Hello, Dolly. Alright. Hopefully, I have what it takes. I don't usually. It takes like 5 batteries for me to make the magic. The good thing is, see how sensitive it is? Like, I just touched it a little bit. And then, the trick is to find that soft spot. And like, you'll be like, oh my god, I can fly this drone. Now I'm going to fly the M7 or the M8. Each drone is tweaked differently. That's the only problem. Like you know, just because you flew one, yes, you can fly the other one, but you're going to have to learn its sweet spots, right? And then once you learn the sweet spots, then you level up. And it might take you a couple of batteries, whoops, and just know your surroundings. Like, if you know, see, oh, the cells are dying. I think I'll be okay, though. Know the surroundings, so you see that we've got a lot of glass, we got stuff, you know, laying around, and see how I'm able to go slow, though? And that's because we have the rates, the 75. We put the throttle limit to 75. And I think I'm going to bring it back over here on the sofa because I don't want it to crash land on the floor. Because, see? Landed on the sofa. So I think I'm going to put a cushion on there. So that's battery number 1. Oh, of course, you can't see anything. Again! Sorry about that. I owe you guys one more flight. So we're going to let that... or we charge battery 1, but that helped me to level up. We make these videos so you don't have to. All right, again. All right, let's see. Alright. Sweet. Again. Play it again, Sam. Alright. So here we go. Now I'm going to put these on. And they're like a little yellowish. But as you can see, we got our total cells. Right? And then we have... Each cell is probably 4.15 volts. Right? So again, lift it up. Get the air going. As soon as the battery's turned on the unit, you want to... Whoops. You want to get it in the sky as fast as possible. And that's so that you can get the air flowing, right? Whoops. Whoa. No. Oh, I crashed. So we have backspace. You could do the crash flip, which will cause it to let it go back to its original state, but I like to go get it. Yay! So, yeah, sometimes it's hard to do those turns, but you get it. Look at me, see? Just like know how to. Huh, interesting. Just knowing how. Whoops. Damn it. I think I need to recenter it and calibrate it because yeah, it's not but this part's an easy fix. If you plug it back into the computer, hold on one sec. But I notice it's drifting more and it's not centered. Let's see, Betafly. So if I just reset the gimbal access calibration thingy over here. Hold on. Go here. Connect. Oh no, that's centered. Reset accelerometer. Z axis. Yeah, that looks a little straighter now. And then now I can quit there. I don't know why it was drifting a little bit. You got to be quick with this. There is an app that works on the phone too, the web app, but it only works with the Android phone. Okay. Let's see. Backspace. You want to get that airflow. It's still beeping though. Core temp is 158 and we don't want that. Otherwise it'll... There we go. Throttle. Crash flip. Core 163. Throttle. Yeah, I gotta pull the battery out and then again. Sometimes that'll happen too, where you not arm, where you have to take the battery out and put it in again. Okay, let's see, and away we go. See, it's hard. So, whoops, you saw me fly in the sim, but as you can see, nothing beats the real world, where it's just hard, it's tricky, it's like you're learning the drone, and now, whoops, damn it, like it's flying like a bat out of hell. Sometimes that happens where 1 minute it's smooth, and then the next minute it's just going crazy. Let's see, I'm going to put one battery in. And then, like the first flight was just phenomenal, right? Well, you didn't see it, but the first flight I had control, was flying it over the sofa, and then the second flight, could be the battery, I don't know. Let's see, we have one here, and we got one charging. We're going to do battery number 3. Number 3. And what time is it? Oh, I'm good. I have to be somewhere at 1:30. Hold on. Sweet. And again, get that. See, the temperature is 144, which is all right. All right. Once it reaches like 160, the flight controller is overheated. See, there we go. This is a spot where I messed up on. Yay, I made it out. See? I think, yeah, so sometimes that'll happen. Like 1 minute you're flying and the next minute you're you know, like it's like a bat out of hell. And that's why, whoops, you want to put that crash flip in there so that when it does hit an object, it just like the recovery is so much better. You know, like it'll recover easily. And then now, whoops, no. Alright, that's okay. Couldn't make it upstairs, but we will. We'll try it on another battery because we're running low. And then when you land it on something soft. See, this is what I was doing in the first flight. The carpet is soft, has that drift, but not bad. It could be better. Fly high. I'm in Westchester. Oh, that's so cool. We have somebody from within our close to us. I couldn't get DJI Assistant to Consumer Drones version to detect my N3 goggles, and N3 had to use activate. Yeah, that's tricky. I'll show you a trick to if it doesn't work. Hold on 1 second to get that, because we don't want it to overheat. We'll just let the flight controller cool down a little bit, right? Alright, so now we have this battery will go here. This one will go there. Okay, I'll show you. Sometimes the DJI Assistance for Consumer Drones doesn't work. I don't know how to do it on the PC, but I'll show you how to do it here on the Mac. If we go here, right? If we go here, where is the go to YouTube, applications, and then right here. If you right click it, show package contents, and then contents, and then DJI app, I believe. No, it's not there. Mac OS. Let's click on assistance, and then it should open. It'll prompt you through the terminal. Why it does that, I don't know. And then now it launches, and then you should be able. It took me like 3 or 4 times to get it to activate, though, with the goggles, and then hopefully your goggles will see it. I can't disconnect it now because we have video from the goggles pushing to the computer, and as you saw, that shit takes forever. All right, so now we have that. We're back here, so hopefully that gets you in, and that's so cool that you're in Westchester. Now you forgot to change the screen. Yeah, no, the screen's back now. Before I did. Yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, thank you, Swedish Forge. So now we're gonna try it again. All right. And when you're outside, you're not going to have any trouble flying this drone. Remember, we're in a confined space. Just choose to fly it in an open space without any obstacles, and you will be golden. And because the recovery is just that much easier, where you can, you'll be able to work the magic. See how I'm able to hover and stop and pause? That's the, whoops. What happened? I spoke too soon. So again, know the surrounding, because as you can see, I had no idea that there was something behind me, right? That actually, it fell into a basket. Crash flip. And then now I can do here, backspace, and then get rid of that error. And then now it's arm, goggles on, and you could move it left and right when it's before going into the air. But as you can see, you could fly it like it's a bumper car. It's stuck on something though. Whoops. And you see? And I can move it slowly like a little turtle. Like it's a race car. And then now put it in, but this would not work if I was in an abandoned building. Right? Basically the drone would be gone. See? Yay! Yeah, so if I was in an abandoned building, and then you gotta learn that the whole recovery thing. That's the tricky part. Whoa! What battery is this? I think it's a battery issue. Sweet! Alright, gotta land now. Land on something soft right about now. Yay! But as you can see, the drone is really resilient. It can like frickin' take a beating, which is what you want. That's so cool. I mean, I want to read some of the. Oh, I gotta go get the drone. Hold on, because you don't want it to overheat. Okay, great. Let's just read some of the comments while that cools down. I got one there, and I guess one there. 2 more batteries left. All right, and then now, let's see what the comments say. La, 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 la. Okay. I used my Samsung phone to activate the goggles, but I didn't have my 04 unit or any other product to link yet to move past that part. Interesting. Hey, my 04 Pro just delivered from Adorama. That's so cool. The 04 Pro is great though. The difference in footage is just phenomenal. Where do you fly in Westchester? I'm in Westchester. Okay. Now you forgot you have to change the screen. And then so that was a trick. Oh, hi. Hello. I think I do remember challenge. Hi. Yeah, I remember you. Yes, I remember. Alright. Alright, so now we're just going to go back to our flight. Yeah, where do you fly? Let me know, because sometimes I fly in Westchester too. In Terrytown, at the little park where you're allowed to fly drones. Because, you know, there's no ordinance in Terrytown, which is just great. And that's where I saw my first FPV experience. I was at a meetup, and AJ had a Avata, and I was like, "What? What is that?" And that's how my first experience. It was just phenomenal. All right, so whoops, that bound. Got that little broken part underneath, but that's okay. We're gonna fix that by putting a soft cushion at the bottom. Just not today. Maybe in another video. I do notice that some batteries give you Ben Castle phone calls. Oh yeah, the Bannerman. Yeah, and isn't that crazy? That's what you because the freaking guy Manny, and apparently I met someone. Hold on, I'll share with you in a second. I just want to focus on this crash flip, backspace, and then someone said get rid of the backspace, but as you can see, it just brings everything back. Yeah, Bannerman cut. I'll explain. I think the batteries. Whoop! I touched something. This is a newer battery. I think this battery gives it more throttle. So even though I have the throttle limit set to 75, this battery is like kick-ass and just giving the drone that extra kick that it needs. I'll do this one, and then like it's too fast. It's too much, this battery. Like even though I have my settings set, you're operating a little bit in bullet time, but I'm still able to recover. Like it does give me. This is the part I mess up on. Sweet. And once you fly indoors, let's see, we're going. You are. It's knowing that when to turn, when not to turn. Sweet. We are golden, and we're gonna land it right here, on someplace soft. Yeah. So I'll do full version of me. We got one more battery left. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what you have to do. And it's funny, like it's like Albert Costello, who's on first. Yeah, you can fly. And like, no, that's town property. No, that's county. No, that's this and that. And if you don't know where you're standing, that's why I chose to go to Cornwall, because it was just so much easier than flying in Cold Spring. Because oh wait, the battery. Hold on. Cold Spring, it was like no one actually knew where you were, but you still can. But whether it's FPV or regular drone, you still have to call and ask, and that's the part that drives me crazy with the whole FPV experience. But if you don't do it, and they show up, and the marshals do show up. They've showed up on a couple of our meetups. I don't think they'll show up if you're flying this because there's no remote ID on here. But even if someone calls and reports and they do show up, you have to have all your paperwork, or even your spotter too. That's another thing. If because I hear stories where people were just flying at home and they just showed up, like when they were in the park, the air marshals. So knowing that moving forward, this was just crazy. But Manny was a real stickler. I had to call West Point. I had to call the FAA, and all that other stuff. And then I had to call him to tell him I did everything I was supposed to. So he's like, call me when you've done everything. And then I did that. And then finally, the day before the flight, I think it was on a weekend, he wasn't there because it was he works for the town. And I just left him a voicemail, but it was good to go. And now it's a good thing because everybody knows Manny. Manny apparently makes. I met this guy who actually lives in the area, and he was telling me all about Manny. So Manny is just notorious for. He said he wears the vest. He has the hat and everything. Like he gets into the character of being the guy, the enforcer, and his name was Gargamel, and I was there flying the drone, and he was showing me, taking me for the tour on Bannerman's Island with my drone. I was flying, but he was like, if you look there, that's where we have the kayaks parked there, and all that other fun stuff. And then he'd also shared that apparently they have theatrical performances there. People go there to see plays and stuff like that. And that was it. His name was Gargamel, like from the Smurfs. I was like, wait, is that your real name, Gargamel? He was like, yeah. I guess he was like Italian or something. Anyway, so now we got our last battery, but I might charge another one. We'll see. And again, flying this thing outside is not going to be a problem because there won't be any confined spaces, right? So I can just recover more left and more right in an open field. But remember, these drones were specifically designed to be flown indoors too. Up throttle limit, make sure your throttle's down. And yay, we're there. See, this one, I like this battery. So it seems like the more kick the battery has, the more, even if you have your throttle set to like 60, 70, whatever the percentage is, like we have ours set to 75, it's going to give it that kick. So, which is a little bit, but you can see my rotations at 41, 42, 39, in the middle at the top. Sweet. Uh-oh. Can we make it without breaking the drone? Woo! Whoop! Oh! Nope, made it upstairs, but I was trying to avoid the fan. Because, anyway. Oh, wait, I have crash flip. Oh, sweet. We can still make it back downstairs, I think. I might be able to. I thought it flipped over. Sweet. Whoa. Whoops. No. Gotta watch out in here because there are a lot of dust bunnies. And those can get caught up in the motor. Yay. No. So, you know, you practice makes perfect. But you'll get there too. Hold on, I can't see without my glasses. Let me go get the drone shutter off, and then we can. That's it. We're done with the batteries. We made it upstairs, sort of, but we're good. That's pretty good, I have to say. I'll go over the drone maintenance after I read the comments, because this one definitely needs some maintenance after flying upstairs, because it's got like hair and shit trapped in there. Okay, so let's disconnect there, and then hold on 1 minute. Quit there. I'm just going to quit reflector and go to some of the comments. That'll shut off automatically, or we can just shut that off. And again, when flying indoors, it's challenging, but you're never going to have that problem outside. You just have to watch out for that throttle, because sometimes adding that more throttle will accidentally cause the drone to fly like crazy, give it that extra boost it never really needed. All right, which is, you know, it just takes practice. And as you can see, flying in the simulator is not the same as the real world. Is Patriots Park okay to fly in? Your Bannerman Castle phone calls cracked me up. That's hard to say, but let's find out. I've never even heard of Patriots Park. Where is Patriots Park? Let's see, go to new. As long as it's not a county or state. Oh, it's in Sleepy Hollow. Oh, I know where that is. Okay, yeah, I've been there. It's a public park, so it's fine, but I would just make sure that when you do fly, there's no one there. And I would definitely not, you know, FPV means it's really tight. And let's see, Terrytown. Go to, yeah. Looks like it's a public park. But remember, Terrytown, I would call. I don't even go by what I say, right? Do like I did. I called Terrytown to make sure it was okay to fly. Google Maps. Google. make sure it's okay to be in that park. So even though there's no, the ordinance says it's okay to be by the water, they might have their own restrictions for that park. So just call, and call the municipality, because they're really nice, and then call dispatch. But remember, the municipality enforces the laws and forwards them to dispatch. But yeah, it's a nice park. Reviews, directions. It's a nice little park there. Wow, there it is right there. See if I can zoom in and get, oh, there we go. And then bring this out. I love the farmer's market in that area. It's pretty cool. It looks nice. Again, call and ask. But as long as it's not, and also when you do that, right, do this. We're going to push it to the computer. Now we won't have any trouble pushing anything to the computer. I just need to make sure that reflector is on. And then now I can push it here. Number will show up, 7471, and then, but always do this before you fly. Make sure, hold on, and just, rotate it from here. Force portrait, and then we'll do there, and then we'll do airwear. Always have 2 apps on your phone. Check with both. So we'll go here, right? Let it launch. Make sure there aren't. You do this where you're standing, or you can do it like before you get there. See, we're green and good to go. And if we go here, be like PATRI, Patriots Park, Terrytown. See, it shows up. Press it and see we're there. Oh wow, that's a little north of the water. Interesting. I've flown over there with the drone, right? Like I launched from the near the bridge. You can launch from wherever and then fly wherever. But again, it doesn't say anything. But call and ask, because the town, you can't be like, but the app says I'm good to go. Look, and the FAA controls this airspace. You can't tell me I know. The FAA rules the airspace. The FAA rules. They go Rain Man on them and repeat it 100 times. Doesn't matter. Yes, the FAA controls the airspace, but the town controls where you launch and take off from. A lot of people don't get that. You see them like saying the FAA controls the airspace, but they forget where you're standing. You need permission to launch from. Again, Peter's Ford will say, why are you repeating so? Where you're standing is where you need permission to launch from. And the reason why I keep repeating it is because these fines are expensive, like $100,000, $50,000, $20,000 for breaking the rules. And make sure you have your trust certificate with you. If you don't have it, put it in your bag for the FPV. You can always tape a small version of your trust certificate and your Part 107 card, like I have here. I don't know if you saw that video, but I keep it here. See, right there, my trust, Part 107, and the recurrent. Because you could say, oh, I have my trust. If you don't have it with you, it's the same as not having it. So like I have it, I took my trust. They're like, yeah, that's nice, that's cute, and then you still get a ticket because you don't have it with you. Same way with a driver's license, you still get a ticket even if you have your license. The police can see in their computer that you have a license. But if you don't have it, it's the same as not having it. So have it with you, and as you can see, it's really convenient. So when they show up, I don't have to get nervous, like being like, oh no, where's my stuff? I know it's here somewhere, officer. And be like, oh yeah, about that. There we go. Let me just land first so we can chat some more, and then you have everything right there. With FPV, just keep it in your bag, because if you're flying FPV, you're not going anywhere without that bag, right? So, and these only cost, I think it's like $2. Get another card. I have one in each of my bags. I have one here, have one in the bag in case, I don't know, can't fly without this anyway, but also in my FPV bag I have double of everything, so I don't have to worry. And again, if you're flying FPV, you don't really need to worry about taping it here, because you're not flying FPV without taking that bag with you, right? So if that makes any sense. But yeah, call. Looks like it's good to go, but again, you won't know until you call. And they're really friendly in Terrytown. It looks like a nice place to fly FPV too, except not, you know, because the open space. Let's see, I'm going to move this over. But the app says, but you can't, again, you can't go by the app. You got to go by the rules of the town. And the towns seem to be making up their own rules, which is fine. But look, this looks awesome, though. Looks like this is the kind of place you want to be at like 6 in the morning. Except like it won't let me like move around. Sometimes you can with Google Maps. See, I could see the person there, but oh, I can. There we go. This is nice. And again, you have with these drones. You have, oh, so I can't go around the park. I know where that is. That's Broadway. Yeah, which you can take this all the way. Oh, really nice. Yeah, I would check, but this is nice. Oh wait, but speaking of the park, hold on a second. Looks like there's a school. I think schools, but if it's far from the school, I know there's a school somewhere along the road. Just make sure. Again, just call and ask. I can't give you any advice, but I do know that with schools it's tricky, and also sometimes the police don't care anyway. Like they do care, but sometimes they're like, whatever, have fun. Like I remember one time I went to the Montauk Lighthouse, and I was like, hey, can I fly? He's like, yeah, I don't see any problem with it. You know, the Parks Patrol, the Rangers were like, yeah, I think today you can get away with it. You know, sometimes you have people like that, and then sometimes you have people that'll show up, and they just enforce all the rules, and then you're pretty much shit out of luck. So, you know, it's all, but just follow the rules anyway, and you'll be fine. And then the only thing you'll have to worry about is your drone falling from the sky, or you know, crashing into something. But if, as you can see, the the Sub 250 is really easy to control inside. It's just phenomenal. But now let's go back to the maintenance. So as you can see, let's see, me stuff, and we'll just quit reflector. I'll just shut this off. But the Terrytown police are really nice. You know, it's when you leave outside New York, when you go to like Two Buck Tim and these areas where, like, you're the live entertainment because you're from out of town. But some of it varies. You know, you just can't stereotype them because, as you can see, as long as you're respectful in the town that you're in, they're friendly about it. They're okay with it. So as you look, see, I have hair or like little things trapped in there. Sometimes, so you want to check and make sure nothing's trapped. If we pull this off, this one came with tools, which is great. So we should be able to lift that up, right? And then push this in, and then see, and then pull that out. I get nervous pulling these out, but come out easily. And now we can get this stuff out. See that? Little, because that will mess everything up. Ziggy, turn off camera lights.
For sure.
You can see, and that stuff gets trapped in there, and then you're like, oh no, how do I put it back on? See that? And then the one with the vents go on the outside, and check them all, because that stuff could mess up your flight, your motors, you know, and things like that. Again, you want a cushion for underneath. I'm just not sure how I'm going to put this on, but I'm definitely going to use this one, because remember, you don't, that extra weight. This is foam. This is really light though, so this is great, just perfect for it. The question is, how do we do it? Do we string it on? Anyway, I'll figure it out. We'll save it for next time. But as you can see, we crashed it. It's pretty resilient. You know, I think some fishing line underneath there, and then just tie it. Maybe sew it through. Yeah, use a sewing needle. That's not a bad idea. Like thread it. Like you see, like put the needle all the way through there, and then thread it through the whole. That one's messed up, but then we can thread it through there, and then just find. I had one somewhere around here, but I think I'm gonna sew it on. just thread it through, and then I'll have like that cushions, because when it lands really hard you hear it crack, and I was wondering what that crack sound was, but now we do. And that's pretty much it. I want to try to see what happens next week. I want to see if I can print these propellers and see how it actually works. See if this one actually fits too. Let's see, that one would be like that, so that one should be that one maybe. Let's take it off. We have a little Dremel that we could use to like, so you got to use this to get it out. I want to print 4 of them and see what happens. This one's tricky. I do have another one, but this one looks like it just fits right in there. See, it's just if we can get that angle. That's why sometimes you can just easily remove it by hand. I did it all by, so you can just lift it up by hand. And then now, see if that'll fit. Sweet. So that, will it fit? No, the hole is too small. And the propellers need to be, looks like made smaller. Nah, it's not gonna work. Might have to use the Dremel, but you get the idea. We'll see if we can print the set. And actually, let's see. Oh, the battery's dying. Put this here. Make the hole. Don't want to make it too big, but that looks pretty good. And then do the other side. Meet me halfway. Hopefully, right? Hopefully that works. Gotta charge this though. Oh look, see, make sure you check all the propellers. See, I'm being held up by a thread. So I do have to do, just because you did one does not mean you did it for all of them. You have to do one at a time. You have to do them all. No, it doesn't work. Bummer. But we'll put this one back on. See? Got the junk out of there. That's when you know you're flying in areas with lots of dust bunnies. And then take this one off. Right? And then careful doing it by hand. And then, because sometimes you can break it. Have extra propellers handy too, just in case. You know, something happens, and it's tricky. Sometimes if you just break it. Yay! Almost. You gotta clean it up. Just get it at that angle. Got it. Slowly. And then now I should be able to, someone will break it. The propeller. I have extra ones, so just jam it in there, but I can see the hair in there, like little dust bunnies. I think that did it. Got it. So now, and then flying outside, you might get little particles or something too, but or you might get grass, right? Blades of grass in there, and then now that should take that out. See? And now, oh yeah, see? Wow, that was really tangled up in there. And then we can put the prop back on. And then push it on, make sure it goes on with the vents going one way, And then we have, see, top left and bottom right in the same direction, top right and bottom left in the same direction, and the vents are pointing out. This didn't fit down. I don't know, maybe we'll jerry rig it. And then, after you took the motors off, you just want to just hover, right? Hovering is the easiest part, to make sure that the drone, you know, the propellers are like defunking anything. So this part, actually don't do that first. First turn this on. Make sure you wear this so that you have your hands free. And then if you have glasses, just make that like that. And then, again, indoors is challenging, but once you're outside, you're fine. You know, the recovery. And then you just have to make sure don't fly too far, because you got to leave room to come back, right? Or you can just go get it, walk if you're in the field. Okay, let's see. So now we took the props off, and we just want to make sure that this still hovers. And then after that, when it comes to flying, that's another story, as you can see. Because no matter how good you are in the sim, nothing beats the real world. It kind of reminds you of defensive driving. In the real world, you only get one take. And then they show, what was it? Something about the night where the guy crashes the car. Anyway, I forget. It's a popular one. Alright, so battery full, angle mode. You don't need to see the screen, but you just need to see the drone hover. I'm not going to share that. And then now, as long as we can rise up to the occasion. Great, we know the props are on. Easier to fly with the goggles off. You heard that crack though? I gotta fix that. I'm gonna put some cushions on there. And that's it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We are good to go. Now you know everything you need to know before you fly your FPV drone, right? And have fun. You know, indoors. You can practice indoors, but you just know that when you fly inside, you're going to be amazing outside, because you're going to have so much space, and the recovery is just, you know, the distance between here and there. It just makes the magic happen. We got our beep. Sounds like we're in General Hospital. This one's not going to make it, Doctor. And then we'll just take the battery out. And remember, you have 1, 2, 3. Make sure before you land, right, you have all your batteries, because they all have to be stored in the same place. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they remember in the bag. And now if they blow up, that's fine. Lost a lot of money right there, but imagine if they blew up, right? In the house, and then the house would burn down, and then I'd be streaming from under the bridge, you know, like literally. So then we checked everything afterwards. You could check the screws. We got some gook buildup from crashing indoors, and outside you'll get other remnants of other crap. But that is pretty much it. Let me just do the last touch with comments. And that is everything you need to know when starting FPV. I said hi. Those are the trolls room. And then I think Irvington has a good park near the water too. So does Terrytown have a ball field near the water? They have, no, you just, oh, that's right. If you're flying FPV, you definitely don't want to be near the water. I can't remember, because when I was flying there, I brought the Mavic, but that's not a bad idea. Oh, today's Tuesday. Bummer. I would say call Terrytown. Hold on. Let's see. Terrytown clerk's office. Hold on a second. And there we know. Hold on. Hi, my name is Lewis. I just have a quick question for you. I think I might have spoken to you before in the past about drones. I know that it's okay to fly drones near the water, like, you know, near the bridge, not too close to the bridge. But what about in Patriots Park? Is it okay there? Do you have any ordinance if I went in the morning when it's empty?
Let me ask. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Marvelous. You will too will learn to fly FPV in the park. I have it on silent. So we have to find out about Patriots. But you just call. That's all you got to do, you know. And you could record the call, you know, so that you have a backup. But we have the live stream as proof. You just have to scrub. I saw it. The guy said online. He called. Where is this video? You just have to scrub to the end. I don't know. At least they're not playing Richard Clayderman, right? But Pour de Adeline. They're playing like some Mozart or something. Let's see. This is the part where it can might crack. Oh.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi. We don't have like specific specific ordinance for that. You're okay as long as you know, just there's a lot of more trees over there.
Oh, okay.
I would say, but that's true. We don't have like any specific rules about it. I mean, if you wanted to know any specific rules, I would say more of like maybe the Greenberg Village Hall.
Got it. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, it won't be anywhere near Greenberg. Yeah. We'll be in Terrytown. Yeah, that's fine. So just so in other words, just look out for the trees, right?
Yeah, you're right though. There's nothing specific. We don't have any specific rules.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. Okay.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Sweet. We can do FPV in Terrytown and Patriots Park. There's no ordinance, but I guess if you want to like fly in Greenberg in that area, I'm not going to Greenberg. Greenberg is just too consolidated, too many homes. Like, there might be a park near there. It's more county too in that area, like near the White Plains area. But yeah, Patriots Park, you're good to go. Proof is in the pudding. I would just go early in the morning. It's kind of, if you went there now, all the kids will be there with their moms, you know, so you're not going to have luck. On the weekend, maybe, or at night because it's a kids park, so most likely after 6 o'clock, I don't know, maybe 7, because, you know, with daylight savings, there won't be anyone there. So you have to go make sure no one's there, and that's it. Like she said, and watch out for the trees. But that's why, you know, you're fine, because it looked like I was impressed with the open space there. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta be somewhere at 1:30. Hope that helps and answers your questions. You calling like speaking of, you can record calls, New York, New Jersey. You're fine. As long as it's a two-way conversation. You can record a phone call and share it via live, you know, but when there's more than one party, because New York, New Jersey is a one-party consent. One party means as long as I'm talking or you're talking, then, you know, you don't need special. But other states have different regulations, so you have to make sure that if you do something like that, that there's no, you know, you're not breaking any laws. Anyway, that's it. We make these videos so you don't have to. I do have to go. You can find me in go to the channel description, and my email is there. And then after you email me, I can share my info, my number, and you can coordinate something so we can fly. Because it's always nice flying with folks from the channel. We fly with Ken, we fly with Eyes in the Sky. I haven't flown with him yet, but he invited me. But I met up with him in the park, and he was showing me some tips and tricks for flying FPV Indoors. But he uses the other drones for that. But this is great. Yeah, so again, you know how to find me. Hope this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. Or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you all next time. All right, there we go. We'll do the outro. This was special thanks to Swedish Forge for the song. My name's How to
me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake watching layers stack just right. Layer by layer, watch it come alive. Plastic dreams keeping this country boy high. Hear that motor singing like a late night bar in a basement room. I'm a backyard star. I'm how to buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Basement stage, but I'm dreaming digging far. Blue plaid night shirt, sweatpants, guitar. Yeah, I'm building my fame from a filament jar. Monkey gas, Swedish forge, front row every night. Glowing in the comments like a neon light. On YouTube, we're riding the stream. Small town channel, big time dream. I'm how to buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Printer running hot at full speed every day. Multicolor layers stacking my way. Lego scattered on the ground. Country boy tech with a plastic sound. When I'm not printing, I'm flying my drone up in the sky where I feel at home. I'm a drone nerd, yeah, I roam around, buzzing through the fields with that freedom sound. Ventilation blowing straight into my mic. Can't read the chat, but I'm feeling alright. Maybe someday I'll slow it down. Catch every comment from this little town. I'm how to buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Live in that basement boulevard. Market guy in Swedish forge in the dark. Lighting up the stream like a neon bar. Subscribing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit that button, keep the dream alive. I'm how to buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Yeah, I know I miss a comment line. Scrolling too fast, but I'm trying to shine. From America to wherever you are, we're building this channel like a brand new car. Filament dreams and a drone in the sky. Basement king and I don't know why, but every single stream feels right. Clap your hands if you love 3D. Clap your hands if you're nerd like me. Slippers on and a printer hum. Basement life, but we're number one. Hey, hey, yeah, we're number one.